All right, so last week I opened up my HackerBox. This was from HackerBox 57 Safe Mode, and in it there was actually this really cool hardware badge that was made specifically for that box and the HackerBox DefCon event that was missed. And so here's the actual PCB for the badge. So it actually looks pretty cool. If you want to see like just more of that unboxing video, I'll leave a link to it in the description. But here's the actual badge, and it also comes with all these components for us to put together. So this is like a little display, and then these are all the other additional parts I will need. I believe this is it. There might be like one or two things I'm missing, but hopefully it's all that I'll need. Let me zoom in a little bit here, kind of go over a few things that are in here. So we have the actual PCB itself, kind of showed that off. This is a little display. It's actually a full ESP microcontroller like board, like development board. But it has a screen built into it, so that's kind of cool. So that'll be for the badge. And then these are all sorts of jacks and resistors and things like that. So I'm gonna pull up the schematic. So now I pulled up the schematic, so I got it on my phone over here so I can see it as I go through the build. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So let's try to get all the components out that we're actually gonna need. So I'm just gonna go ahead and place all the rest of the components based on the schematic. It's actually really cool, like badge. Like I've already been interested in hardware badges. I'll probably put some pictures up on the screen. But there are some really cool ones that come to like DefCon every year. And I was actually going to go to DefCon this year, but unfortunately, due to everything that's going on in our world right now, obviously it was canceled. So it's kind of cool. So that's how I actually found like this box, because DefCon actually kind of promoted it, sort of. And when they did, I was just super excited to actually get up on it and purchase this myself. Yeah, this is really cool. Like to just, I don't know, kind of finally be going through this. Like in the previous video, like I kind of mentioned that I lost this box, and I was actually kind of really sad because I thought it got lost in the move, and that it possibly didn't even come with me. I had actually asked my old roommate, I was like, dude, is there any way that that box is there somewhere? And he like assured me it wasn't. I mean, obviously he's right, like, because, I mean, obviously it's here. Okay, so these are gonna go, so these go on here. So yeah, so these are gonna go on here like this. And then there's gonna be, this joystick is gonna go over here, like so. So yeah, so that shouldn't cause any issues there. But those are going to be those are surface mount, so they're not going to work with the rest of this right for now. And then the actual display is going to go on. So now that we got it, like all that kind of figured out, I think what I'm going to do is, we need to put the capacitor. So we have this capacitor here. Yeah, this is kind of cool. I mean, like to be putting all this together, it kind of reminds me of like, I don't know if you all used to watch like these like videos, but I used to watch like the Ben Heck show, like back when, pretty much like when it first started. And I just used to always be like so amazed that like Ben could solder so well. And then especially when they brought Felix on, and sometimes when Felix would solder, Felix would do some of the most like intricate like solder work that I've just ever seen. And I was like, if I can ever solder even a fourth as good as these guys, like I'm gonna be in a good spot. But obviously I'm nowhere near them at all. I actually still watch Ben Heck's like videos because he has his own channel where he just makes like random stuff, and it's cool to see him because like he's kind of the reason why one of the reasons why I wanted to start, I guess, making YouTube videos, and also just why I got into like microelectronics. But that was the whole point of the Ben Heck show. Like he's talked about that. I had to get some snips. Found some sorry about that, but I found some flush cutters. Had to really dig for them. Don't know why they were so hidden, but yeah. So now all I'm gonna do is just take these and just kind of go underneath these and clip like where I need to clip. So I'm just gonna clip some of these off. You know, saying yeah, the Ben Heck show. Like he's talked about that in like interviews and stuff, and just like on his show, about how the whole point of the show was really just to get people, more interested in like microelectronics and hobbyist projects. So. That always got me like super interested. I think that was around the first time that like I got my first, like Arduino Uno. And man, I mean, it's like crazy to think. Like I've made like some interesting and like cool stuff since then. but like I've never made any sort of projects anywhere near the level of like the BenHack show. And I don't know, it was really cool, especially the fact that like they would do so much in a week's time, like for a project. I'm like, I spend months on a project and it doesn't come out half as good. But I don't know. I guess that's why. They are the professional hobbyists. So yeah, I clipped that one a little bit low, so I'm just gonna reflow the solder on it. So let me see the buzzer. Okay, so yeah, so here's the little buzzer. So surface mount soldering, it's not as bad as everybody thinks it is. You just literally take, I can't zoom in any further, but all you do is just, these are the 2 pads I want to use. So all you do is you just put some solder on one. And that's it. You put solder on one, you get your component, and this is the correct orientation for this buzzer. And you slowly move it into place. And yeah, it's in place. It's in place, it looks good. Now there are vias on this board, so you gotta be very careful that you don't like flow solder into one of the vias. Because I mean, obviously then whatever signal is going through that via, I mean, you can cause all sorts of problems. So then yeah, so now I got that one side tacked in, as you can see over here. Yeah, so it's real tacked down on this side. So now all I'm gonna do is flow solder and it'll just connect on this side and that'll be it. There's definitely way harder surface mount soldering. Like if you watch my video about the keyboard that like I'm building, that, man, hand soldering that was a real pain. And I probably won't like hand solder a lot of that again, just because of how long it took, because the components were so small. But you know, you live and you learn. Okay, so I actually just took a second to like look it up. So this little joystick actually does have an orientation, so it's gonna be real hard to see. But it actually has these 2 little dots, these 2 little black dots on the bottom there. And that actually lines up to these little holes that they've actually left in the board. Those are not vias, those are actual, oh, you can see it real good from that shot. Those are actual holes for those black pegs to sit in. So all I'm gonna do is just make sure that lines up. Yeah. Oh, another YouTuber. Like, I'm thinking of all the YouTubers that like I like to watch. Another YouTuber that really got me into like building things with microelectronics was is his name Bob? Is his name Bob from the YouTube channel I Like to Make Stuff? Yeah, I think his name's Bob. Either way, yeah, from the I Like to Make Stuff channel, he does really cool stuff. Like, he did this really cool build with like LED lights on a bike, and I just thought it was the coolest thing because I like to bike. So when I saw that video, I was like, oh man, I could do so much more with it. After, I mean, I saw it like, you know, months after it came out, because that was not around the time that I was first watching him. But yeah, and he does all sorts of other really cool stuff. Like he's real big into like you know, renovation like projects and stuff. So he does a lot of really cool stuff. I haven't watched a lot of his videos recently just because he hasn't been doing a whole lot of like microelectronic stuff, but anytime he does something that's like related to electronics, I always watch because they're like really good. Another YouTuber, I mean, I'm into keyboards, so I watch like Tay, for Tay from Tay's Keyboards, because I mean his videos are just awesome. So yeah, like if you like mechanical keyboards, I'd watch Tay Keyboards. I guess I'm gonna have to link all these people in the description, because they're all like really awesome people, and man, like I don't know, they're just like really cool, and they really, I don't know, they also a lot of these like YouTubers I watched just showed that like you can, you know, make like content yourself if you want to. So that's why I made the YouTube channel, and that's why the content probably seems kind of random, because it's just like, I don't know, it's stuff that I just like to talk about. It's very similar to if you ever watch Fran's Lab on YouTube, she does like the same thing. She just kind of, you know, like talks about or like looks at stuff that like interests her, and she makes videos about it. And I just think it's the coolest stuff, like, you know, because I don't know, I've learned so much from just watching her channel, because she will just find stuff, and thanks to like her knowledge and the knowledge of her viewers and stuff, I've just learned so much about random stuff that, you know, I would have never learned about, like the original, like just like, you know, electronic marvels like from the world that have been like lost to time, or, you know, stuff that people didn't even really think about. Is like crazy. So yeah, so you saw I just tacked that on again. Like, this is just surface mount soldering. I mean, it's really not bad as long as the pitch isn't bad. But man, like for the like Mega controllers that I use for my like custom keyboards, like I have has this macro pad here. Like the pitch on that is just, I mean, hold on, let's see if it'll focus. Like the pitch on that, look how small that is. Like I have to break out a magnifying glass to make sure I don't have bridge traces with it. But these are like, I mean, there's just like one leg and there's so much space in between them that it's not a big deal at all. Yeah, see, what else? What other YouTubers do I like to watch? I mean, that's like it from like YouTube. Like I watch a lot of random YouTube videos. Oh, Adrian's Basement. Like I don't really watch him for like microelectronic stuff because that's not really what he does. He's kind of just, you know, all into retro computing. So like watching him to just learn about all the things from retro computers that, like, you know, I mean, I obviously didn't experience, right? Like it's just, I mean, it's beyond my time, right? So just to hear like him and other people and to see his viewership, like his viewership send him all sorts of really cool stuff that they find from, like, you know, just random places across the world. You know, especially like, I don't know, this is gonna be kind of weird, but he like often gets like treats, like candy and stuff from around the world, and that's just so interesting to me. Like I know you're like, what's so interesting about like candy from around the world? I don't know, it's just like cool because it's something that like you really don't think about. But I mean, there are completely different like desires of taste, like just around the world. Ow, that kind of hurt. I like touched that hot pin that I was like just soldering. I like touched it. I should get like a really cool intro, like like you know, as I sit here and solder this, like I'm thinking about like people with like their cool intros. And like Fran from Friends Lab has a cool intro. Bob from I Like to Make Stuff. Adrian from his Digital Basement. You know, the Ben Heck Show, like, you know, had one. Obviously, like now he doesn't have one, but it's just because like, I don't know. It's kind of like admirable in that he does good editing when he wants to. Like it's like you'll see some of the editing he does for some videos, and you're like, he went through all the effort, and you're like, Ben, you went through all the effort to you know, make like this video and put in all this editing just for like a joke. And he's like, yep, that's pretty much it. Like, that's just what he wants to do. That's like really cool. I don't know. I think it's just like interesting because he's definitely been on the opposite end of the spectrum where he had, you know, thousands of viewers. Like he probably still has like like I haven't checked, but I'm sure he has like, you know, very large like subscriber count still, because it's not like there was anything that really took place at the Ben Heck Show. Like it was just like the Ben Heck Show just ended, and it's, yeah, he got on for years, and I don't know, that's like the crazy thing for me. It's like I remember watching it like year in, year out, and for it to end is kind of like, I don't know, to me, I guess it's like for normal people, I guess, how, you know, a TV show ends, like you know, like how everybody felt when like Game of Thrones ended, for example. Like that's kind of how I felt when the Ben Heck Show ended. Of course, it wasn't as climactic, and the last episode didn't, I don't know, it didn't really come off as like the last episode. Like they obviously were like, yeah, this is the last episode, but it wasn't, I don't know, it didn't come off that way. Like it was just like this incredible last show. So I don't know. I wonder what all the cast, what all the old cast and crew members of like the former Ben Heck Show are now doing. You know, now I think about it, like, I wonder what they're doing. I wonder what they're up to. Like, obviously know what Ben Heck's up to. Like, he's just making troll videos on YouTube and petting his new cat. But his new cat, dog, whatever, he is, but yeah. I don't know. I wonder what, like, Felix and all of them are up to. All right, so the display is, like, fully soldered on and, like, connected. It's, like, really interesting because I thought I just had it uneven, but that's actually how it, like, lands in here, oddly enough. So that's like interesting, but it is what it is. And yeah, so now I'm just gonna put on these jacks up top. All right, the last thing for me to solder on is this power switch. So they actually do set up a way like this. These headers here are actually for the battery and battery connectors, so you can connect a battery to this 3.3 volt like LiPo battery to actually power the display. And so it can, you know, kind of actually be like a badge when you walk around. But I don't actually have a 3.3 volt LiPo battery, so I'm gonna have to order one, and I'll revisit this video like in the future, I guess, and put it on. Now I put it on there, but I will go ahead and install the switch now, just so I won't lose it, because it's, I mean, it's so small, you could easily lose this like switch. So yeah, so that's, I mean, that's everything. Now I have everything all soldered up, so we're just gonna put some caps on these buttons and the little joystick. That's the HackerBox 57 safe mode badge, all assembled. The only thing it's missing is that battery. And oh yeah, they also give a little lanyard, so I'm gonna put the little lanyard on it through these holes that they left to put it on. And there we go. So yeah, now it's like a fully, let me zoom out a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. Yep, so now, I mean, here it is, fully assembled with this little lanyard, so go over your neck, and you can actually program this screen to do all sorts of really cool stuff. So I think in a future video, I'm going to actually visit programming it, and I'm going to flash probably some little demo stuff that they have, but I'm going to see if I can get some stuff working. It'd be really cool to use this little joystick, and then these buttons, maybe put a little mini game on there, maybe have my name on the badge. Yeah, can't wait to see what's going to happen, but all right, I'll do that in a future video. So thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you didn't, you know, you can hit that dislike button. You know, leave comments in the description if you have any sort of input for this badge or any sort of input for this video or future videos. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.